Hello everyone, it's Exoman. Guess where I am?
Knock, knock.
Come on in.
Hi.
It is not the Taj Mahal.
It's awesome.
It's not the Ritz-Carlton,
I love it.
but it is soon to be ours. So stick with me for a minute here with us. I want to talk to you about investment. I want to talk to you about not just real estate, but just life in general and opportunity and how to look for it and how to seize it. I want to talk about due diligence and research and just different things.
Not giving up.
Not giving up on your
curious,
dreams. Exactly.
Talking to everybody.
what we have here is, believe it or not, a beach house. This is a camper, right? Let's take
RV.
Yeah. And this camper is a fifth wheel, but to me, it's nicer than a lot of homes I lived in.
It is really
certainly when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And
It just feels like there's vaulted ceilings and.
yeah.
I mean, these ceilings are higher than our ceilings at home.
So this definitely would have been something that Farm Girl and I could not afford. Back in the day, we started out renting homes. I was a renter all my life. Apartments, motels, trailers, that's how I grew up. And it was tough. And we were always paying somebody else's rent. But I figured out how to reverse things. I figured out how to get on the other side and take the wheel. Finally, yeah.
Took half a century.
but what we have here is pretty modest as far as price goes. What we bought, the deal that we made was for this camper and the land it sits on, which is a really nice opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's something else we're going to talk about, looking for campgrounds that will actually sell you lots. The campgrounds that are, in this case, a collective parcel, which is owned by many people. It's parted up into many lots, and everybody owns their lot.
Yeah.
Or they own a lot and they rent it out, and somebody else parks a camper on it.
And everybody shares in the CAMs, which is.
Or the HOA.
POA.
Let's talk POA, HOA, CAMs. You know what all these are.
Pretty much everything except electricity.
If it's HOA, that's Homeowners Association. That's when you live in a neighborhood with homes. If it's POA, it's when you have a multi-use property. They just call it Property Owners Association. If it's CAMs, that's just Common Area Maintenance. Just some interesting terms. But here we have a POA. But what I wanted to say is that we ended up purchasing, we've made a purchase agreement for this land and this camper for about the price you would pay for this camper.
Yeah.
Which is stunning.
And we got two little lots.
Yeah, and the camper's 10 years old. The lot is somewhat insignificant in that that's not what we were after, was a bunch of land. We were after just land, enough for the camper and enough to park a car and maybe a couple of golf carts. We'll take a look at that. Bear in mind that this home cost us about the same as a nice car. And it sits amidst homes that are in the millions of dollars. Homes that are near, at, or on the beach. The deals are out there. Don't stop looking. Don't give up. It just, again, it takes time and energy to get what you want. But, so how did this come to be? Lots and lots and lots of research.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of legwork on my part and her part. We visited with realtors. We visited with FSBO owners. I've looked at boat slips.
We're always looking for investments.
All kinds of things.
To grow our portfolio.
Yeah. And to have a good bit of it in real estate. Mm-hmm. And I think this took about a year.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty exciting what we worked out. In all my search, and basically what was I looking at again? I was looking at boat slips and trailers and lots, and I got to the point where I was like, well, all this stuff is very expensive. I just want a lot with a septic system, and I'll put a trailer on it.
Well, yeah, it was either that or something that we could get that would be turnkey and nice.
And we needed something that was low enough to where we could either buy it outright or figure out a way to get financing, and that's something important I want to talk about is the financing.
That's a challenge sometimes.
That's a real challenge when you're talking mobile homes or campers or things like that, because most banks don't want to loan you money on a mobile home. They want it affixed to the ground with a concrete foundation and, you know, brick underpinning, etc.
They'll give you money for a lot, you know, like 50% usually.
Let's
but
take a look around while we're talking.
Not the house that's on it.
Show us the boudoir.
If you can drive it around.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see the boudoir.
So you go up the
Very
stairs.
expansive.
Yeah. Hard for me to get a shot here. Let's see. Wow.
Here it is.
Nice little bedroom.
Yeah.
Nice bed.
Little flip flops.
Very cozy. Storage. So what we have worked out here is a deal with the owners to buy this lot using cash and owner finance, right?
Yeah.
So they agreed to about 60%.
60%.
Owner financing.
That's awesome.
And we agreed on a very, very low interest rate. They agreed to 2.5%.
Very nice.
These people were very amenable. They wanted to get out of the home. They had it listed with a realtor. The realtor put it way too high. The realtor put it about $20,000 higher than what we got it for. So we came in. I called there was a FSBO sign outside. I called the number on the sign, and the woman told me the price, and it was about $10,000 over budget.
Yeah, and we told her, and she said,
And we told
sorry.
her. She said, "All right, sorry." And then, was it the next day or the same day?
I think it was the next day.
They called me back and said, "You know what? We'll go down $10,000," and they hit our sweet spot. And that was just as I said. It was a result.
And you said, "Will you do owner financing?" And
Yeah.
they did not hesitate. They said,
They
absolutely.
didn't hesitate. I said, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I want to throw this out there because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it otherwise. Would you be able to do owner financing?
People will work with you. You just need to ask.
Yeah. So ask.
Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
ask.
If you don't throw no net, you won't catch no fish. So they said yes, and the rest is history. We're closing in. We'll be closed by the time you see this video.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
Yes,
They're just know. I just wanted to share this with you because I wanted you to know that, you know, with all your frustration, hang in there and keep looking. Keep, you know, leave no stone unturned. Look at this place. I love it.
Yeah.
And you'll find what you want. See, people want to accomplish things, and they want to invest, and they have all these wants, needs, and desires. But are you willing to work for it? You got to be.
You have to persevere.
You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be persistent and
Open.
yeah.
Allow
flexible
it in.
and
You
flexible.
have to be flexible.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
what we looked inland. We looked mostly inland, and we didn't even imagine looking at the beach. But I kept wanting to come to a campground and look around. I found this campground where you could buy property. And
We actually lived in here 20 years ago.
years ago, yeah, yeah. And we thought, oh, that's not the life for us. It's too cramped. We can't live in a camp. But we weren't thinking about having a rental unit, and that's what this will be. It'll be a very, very nice rental unit, and we'll have to be very careful about vacation rentals and who we rent to.
Yeah.
So let's take a
Make
look
sure it stays
around.
nice.
We'll go look around and see outside. The features. Look at this. This camper they took out. Well, the ACs failed, and at the beach, these types of RV units, ceiling units, fail every 2 or 3 years, and so they put in a split system, and
It works so well.
the compressor is outdoors. There's an outdoor unit, and an indoor unit. It works really, really well, and it weathers much, much better than the units that they.
Look, a fireplace.
A fireplace.
That's so cool.
Look
Do
at
we
the
know
size.
If this works?
Yes, it does. It does.
Oh,
This
cool.
heats. This can heat the whole place. Look at the size of this slide. This is all a slide out. If you trace it all the way back to the back of the camper, this is all a slide that comes in when you travel. Now, I will point out that if you buy a camper at the beach, you're not going to be able to drive it in and out a lot. And in fact, a lot of the components underneath will rust and need to be replaced if you ever want to travel again. So you basically have yourself a house that's going to have to stay put if you do invest in something like this. Let's take a look at all this wood paneling. And this one has a nice bathroom with a nice shower and a nice home toilet. The unique thing about this is that it's
no RV toilets.
There's no RV toilet, there's no RV plumbing. This goes into a main sewer, so that's just wonderful.
That's amazing.
You don't have to worry about gray water or black water tanks, and that's perfect.
A
So
little vent there. You can just open that and turn the AC off.
yeah. So what this mostly is about creative financing and creative investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're looking for something I just think it's a really good, there is a ripe field of opportunity in this type of investment because it's difficult for people to get financing for, as we said, for campers and trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So what you may find is that a lot of owners, as in our case, are willing to do owner financing.
Just have to ask.
You have to knock on the doors, right? Call the people, you can put out flyers, whatever. And then when you meet somebody that's amenable, and think about it, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put down a pretty good amount of money.
If you're putting down 30, 40,000 or whatever, say 40% of the value of the home and the property, they know you don't want to lose that.
Exactly. So, and if you do default, they get your 30 to 40,000 and they get their property back. So
right, exactly. So there, that limitation ends up being an opportunity for the creative buyer and the persistent buyer. You go around to these people who own mobile homes and you say, look, I know it's difficult for most buyers, that's why you're having trouble selling your home. I would be willing to put up X amount of cash if you will finance the rest of it. So there you go. And then from there, you call your attorney. I called my attorney and I said, look, I don't even have a contract handy. Can you write one up for me? Here are the terms, and write an amortization schedule and go from there. So it cost you $700-800 for that. Let's check out
closing costs. It's an eagle.
Mm-hmm. So this here is a Jayco, the Jayco Eagle.
This here is an RV, Clark.
And it's going home. It's going home with me when I leave in 2 months.
This baby's not going anywhere.
There we go.
Yeah, that's amazing how big that is.
A very small amount of land, which is fine. A little outbuilding. As you see, I pulled my truck in at an angle. There's plenty of space for 2 or 3 cars and maybe a couple of golf carts if you needed.
Dish, huh? Dish.
Yeah. And this is what happens with these vehicles at campgrounds. They get very rusty. You can see the rust underneath. So you want to coat that with some sort of preventative if you get yourself into one of these types of properties.
I don't think I'll be doing my makeup outside. But
Very cool. Lots of storage space on these as well.
we can plant some pretty
And
flowers.
here's the other slide. We've got an awning. There you go.